party?
And what play party in what way?
You ever heard of that term? You've
Yeah.
heard of that term.
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
So a sex party.
So from my understanding, there's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you're playing, that's usually at a sex party. Like when you say like, "Hey, do you want to play?" It's usually like a sex party thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been?
Have I been to a sex party? No, I've been to a sex party adjacent.
What's an adjacent?
I went to a resort that was built for. Well, I went to a resort that basically is like a full sex party.
Because my understanding, like even if you go, like even if you go to a play party, you don't have to participate.
That's why
You
it's
can
called a
just be
sex
there.
party, and you don't play. That's why.
But it's still a play party. Even if you don't play, you're still there.
I think you could go to a sex party and not have sex. Yeah, but it's just like you go to a sex party, but usually when you use the terminology play, it's because you're having sex. So that's why you call it a sex.
So, no, because I was listening to something and they would say that play could also just mean fantasizing.
Yeah, but it could also play into sex.
Yes, sex is a component for sure.
Yeah, so it's just like, yes, like a play party may consist of sex. So it's like,
But it doesn't have to.
but a sex party doesn't have to consist of sex either, depending on the patrons that attend. Some people like to watch. Some people are not the type to participate.
Are you saying the sex party and the play party is the same thing?
Yes. Tell me what the difference is. What did they tell you?
Because a sex party, you actually have to have sex, but a play party you don't.
Do you think that every time you would have to go to a sex party, even if it's your first time, that you feel like you have to have sex?
Yes.
I don't think so. But I think that as a man and a woman, I think the conversation is relevant because as a man, I think that's the intentions. Like if I'm about to go to a sex party, I'm going there to get I'm trying to get a nut.
I want to have sex.
Yes, and for a woman, that might be the idea, but that might not always play out that way. Or they might find out that watching that evening may allow them to maybe participate next time. But I don't always think that just because, like, even me being in this establishment didn't mean that I needed to go have sex with people.
Yeah.
But the option was available to me. It didn't take away from my experience, or they didn't say I have to go home because I decided not to have sex.
See, but at a sex party, they do.
No, but they don't. Not as a woman.
Well, that's what I've been told.
But you should have more background and understanding in that aspect. So it's just like, even though you are hearing other people's perspectives, you also may have understood the experiences yourself to have a better understanding of what actually can partake in those situations.
Sure. I don't know. I think what I went to was more, I would classify more as a play party than it was a sex party.
Okay.
Because not everybody was having sex.
Okay. But in a play party, people can have sex too.
Well, people can have sex, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think that that's the same thing with the sex party, because maybe we have a kink that we might want to do in this establishment where I feel safe, or,
True.
being able to be open to it, that we're not able to do it, and we may not be intimate in a way where we have coitus, where we're having, where
Did you just fucking say coitus?
yes,
Okay, Big Bang Theory, nigga.
But if that happens to happen, then that's the realization of where you're at. But I don't think there's a true difference between the two, because I think both things can happen in both. I think that's the best thing when you go into controlled environments like that open you up to those environments, because consent is the key. Mm-hmm. If I don't want to do it, then I don't have to do it. So if I'm not doing anything, and as long as I am a patron of this establishment, shouldn't take away from anything that I do.
For sure. I agree. I understand. Guess, well, yeah.
And I've thought about going. I mean, I've been invited to some due to certain my circumstances and the people the individuals that I dabble with, that they're not really comfortable with me doing it. And I get it. But I would love to.
You get that?
Yeah, I get that. I get it. Especially if they were there with me.
Nope.
What do you mean?
Nope.
No what?
Because let me say, I get it too, but nope.
No what?
Because you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I think that it's even harder knowing that like this is something that you're gonna do, and you guys are trying to be open to that thing. Which I feel like I could be in a relationship that probably may be okay with that, but I think it would have to like start with us being more secure where we're at. But if it was like something that you was into me and we just did it, it probably wouldn't work out for you. Well, not for you per se, but for the person that.
I got you.
Yeah, and I've had these conversations numerous times, but I'm very curious to like just dabble and just go.
Do it.
I want to, and I think I will. But it's just also about the idea of.
Would you have to know people there, or would you do it with strangers?
I would strangers. I'm fine. Either or.
As long as there's like the one I went to, there was like a screening process.
Explain.
Like they just allow randoms in. Like you had to know someone. 2, they name and all that stuff.
That's usually what happens when it comes to like private groups like that. Mm-hmm. And I'd probably be more comfortable with that setting because then whoever's inviting you understands, knows you and understands the people that they're around and like things that at least has the idea that you're going to be okay because they've been okay there. Yeah. I think that's ideal. But for me, I think I would do it either way. Really? I'm okay with, because even when I went onto the establishment, like the only person that I knew was the person that I went with. I didn't know anybody else there. Mm-hmm. And they knew a few people that was there and I knew no one, but I'm used to being around strangers. And I think that sometimes being around strangers allow people to be their more authentic self than when they're around people that they know.
It's amazing you still have the same view on the world.
What do you mean?
That's off mic.
No. I mean,
sure?
If you
I just think that you've been through a lot, and for you to still have the same view on the world.
What's my view that you don't?
I would think that you will be more. I need to trust people in order, or be more trusting of a situation before just diving in without, like with strangers. Like in this situation.
Yeah, but I mean and you look at sex on a different level.
Not just sex. I'm just saying.
But that's how I would view it. It's a sexual act. It's an action that happens and then it goes away. Mm-hmm. I don't hold that much into sex, even though I enjoy it as much as I do. I don't use that as a catalyst for my life. Like sex is I can compartmentalize that. Like I could be with you today and not even think about you tomorrow when it comes to sex. And with certain individuals, or if I decide to embark on those things, that doesn't affect me that way. But if I'm having feelings for you, I mean, obviously that's different. But when it comes to sex, that's a different avenue. Like when it comes to you being someone consistent in my life or me trusting you, absolutely. Like I'm going to continue to vet that. But when I go into a situation such as a party like that, I'm going into it in a new venture that I haven't been to. Obviously, around most of the people that I haven't interacted with, I would have to go into it with open arms and eyes if I'm trying to get into it. I can't be reserved, I want to say, or create boundaries when I'm like, I want to try this. Why would I do that to myself?
That's fair. Nah, respect. Big respect.
Yeah, but I mean, life only showed me that I need to be more cognizant of the people that I might think that are temporary and I make them long term. But that doesn't change about how I interact with people on a regular basis. That's just who I am. I might have good situations. I might have indifferent situations. I might have weird situations. But to change the essence of who I am just takes away from Gigi. Gigi.
All right. We didn't even start banter, but here's banter. Here we go. Banter.
I thought that was banter.
Just a conversation. Just start us off, you know? Last episode, we just went straight into the...
Yeah,
I was like...
I had no problem with that.
I do.
Oh, okay.
That was great conversation. That was great, like, energy being passed back and forth.
Wait, but because now I have more questions on the last question, but let's just move
Go
on.
for it.
Was it?
It could be that. It could be part of the banter.
Would you do it again?
Now?
Yeah.
No.
But you would do it before. What's the difference between then and now?
What, my life?
I'll leave it there. Go ahead.
Banter. Banter question for today is: what is one thing you wish you could do right now and you would have no consequence if you did it?
When you say no consequence, what does that mean?
No consequence. Like, there will be no repercussions, no nothing if you decide to do this thing.
Two things. Start my podcast. Have somebody baby.
And have what?
Have somebody's baby.
Aww, that's cute.
That's it. That's what I got for you.
For me, it would be to go deep in a hole somewhere where nobody knows where I'm at.
You don't want me to find you?
No, I don't want nobody to find me.
Really? When do you want this to start?
If I could,
Yeah.
now.
Well, after this
I said, I
episode,
wish.
after this episode, Greg, I'll give you all the space you need.
There's repercussions to that.
There wouldn't be
There's
no
consequences to that.
There wouldn't be no repercussions.
There is consequences. I have a child to take care of. I have people who care and love me.
Why would you want to go into a holdup?
Just because sometimes life be life and you just don't want to deal.
Don't I know that, sir? But what would make you want to stop doing it? I feel like in those moments,
Just a break. Like, just give me like 24 hours of just like no problems. Like none. No, I'm lying. A year. Give me a full year of like.
I feel like you've had 24 hours before.
Yeah, 24 hours is nothing. I want like a full year of like no bills, no surprises, no child care, no nothing. I could just go in a hole, pause, and be by myself.
I don't think you'll be able to function properly. I think I'll give you 3 days.
I give myself a couple hours.
Yeah, I don't think you would last that long.
Probably not.
I think that you would either need to interact or need to do something.
That's probably fair.
I don't think you built for that.
It will be more, but it will still be something I want to do, not something I have to do.
I understand, but I think that even when you got that opportunity, you will find a reason.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm still standing on my wish. That's my wish.
I mean, look, I'm with you. I was like, but I can help you if you want me to disappear for a second. I could do that for you.
If you didn't talk to me for like, I would say 4 days, you'll go crazy. Or the 5th day when you do see me, it'll be a whole ordeal.
You don't think you would miss me? You think it would just be on me?
No, I didn't say that.
But you're thinking that I will go crazy because you're not.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg. You know what? Sure. That's what you want to do. Sure. I'm gonna
Am
give
I
you
lying?
that. I don't know because at this point, like, we've had this podcast, so regardless of how I've been feeling or what I want to do, I've still dedicated myself to this. So it's like, and you're a part of this. So no matter what, I cannot talk to you for a week, but I know that outside of like us doing it like bi-weekly now, I knew that I would have to talk to you eventually. I would have to see you eventually.
You know, every week at some point we're going to talk.
Yeah.
So imagine if we didn't.
We have.
When?
Numerous times in our cycle of our friendship.
How did that make you feel?
That I was gonna see you one day out of the week because we record. That's what I'm trying to say, is that like it didn't matter because even if I may have felt some type of, there's always gonna be a day where we would have to see each other. And whether we go off on each other that day or not or whatever, like that's what it would be. But
No, I agree with that. I understand.
It's a consistency that no matter what.
Imagine if you didn't know that we was going to meet up.
Why wouldn't I? You're not built that way.
You're not built that way.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I will disappear on
Not on me.
because we
Forget
understood
the
that.
podcast.
Huh?
Forget the pod.
I think that we could go a few days of. I believe that.
I'm not saying that we can't go a few days.
Yeah.
But a few days is all that we can go.
Okay, and maybe that's the idea because of this, that we understood that we talk to each other.
But I'm saying, so take out the podcast.
Okay, Greg, we friends. Like, of course we're gonna check in with each other. But it's just like
you gonna miss me.
No,
you gonna miss me.
Greg.
Say it.
Of course. Like unless we had a falling out on some weird shit, then yes, Greg, of course I would miss you because it'd be weird for us not to talk. But this has happened to us where we haven't spoken.
No, that's all you have to say.
Okay, you just need to hear it.
Yes.
Why don't you admit it for yourself?
I don't have to.
Say it, Greg.
What was that noise?
Well, I'm just saying that you have either underestimated the thought process of this woman.
You don't think I prepared?
This is too much.
This is every week, bro.
I'm ready.
The gist of this conversation is that I'm right and y'all wrong.
Gigi.
Yep. Welcome to Convo 152 of Just a Conversation with Greg and Gigi. I'm the person that talks first. And I am joined here by my sister
Gigi.
Gigi. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm okay. A lot of things happened in the last couple of days. Even from last week, I feel like every time I think that I'm gonna get through a new year and be better, some shit trying to take me down. But overall, the universe, God, whatever you guys want to hold as your being that allows you to keep faith, is holding me together. Because sometimes I didn't think I was gonna make it, Greg. But this week has kind of catapulted me to understand that if I keep doing what I need to do, then karma will allow me to get the things that I deserve and bring things back to me that I may lose. So, how about you, Greg?
I'm alright. I'm learning about myself.
That's good.
More than I thought I would. Yeah, you think. It don't matter how old you are, you don't have life figured out. You know.
I don't think it's not about figuring out life. I think it's the fact that you learn something new about life every day. It's
for sure.
It's not something that is figured. It's not set in stone. But I think.
I guess what I'm getting at is I'm usually very so sure of myself. I'm so sure of my morals, my background, my what keeps me planted, and yeah, it's this past week I've just been learning that there's still evolution to happen for Greg, and some of those, and a lot of those things is it's foundational things that I always just believed in. And I'm not saying I'm questioning my faith or beliefs or anything like that, because some of those things I still do believe in, but I guess I'm just learning everything is situational. Nothing is definitive.
Hi, Gigi. How you doing? I like that, Greg.
So damn yes or no.
It could be yes and no.
No, it's still most of the time it's no. It's still no. It's just things happen.
And that's why it could be yes and no. Because my thing is, you always think about the general aspect or maybe your personal experiences, but you understand that your experiences have changed or they evolved or you've allowed yourself to see in situations that you may have this A aspect of it, but then B and C end up being your result.
No. Certain things is just no. It's is
lying, give me an example.
Is lying wrong? Yes, lying is wrong. No matter what the situation is. You could make an excuse for the lie, sure. To swallow the pill a little bit better, absolutely. But lying is lying. Lying is wrong.
Okay.
That's definitive.
Okay.
That's what I mean. But some things are just still no.
Even a light lie.
A lie's a lie.
Okay, so if I wanted to surprise you, that's a lie?
No,
I didn't tell you the truth.
you didn't tell me anything. A lie would be
I am. I'm telling you that we're going to this.
If you're throwing me a surprise party, I say, Gigi, you better not throw me no party, and you say, I'm not throwing you a party, and you throw me a party, you lied. That's a lie.
And that's bad.
Still a lie.
And you're mad now.
It depends. Doesn't matter if I'm mad.
But yes, it does. That's what I'm saying. It's like, is it in those situations, is that bad? Is that bad because it's a surprise and you're not supposed to know?
We about to rewind the tape.
Yes or no?
Because I asked you, is there such thing as like a good lie?
And we had this conversation, and I said about even the kids that might be dying. And you'd be like, you're going to live forever. And then, the cancer patients. We had that conversation.
You should not say that to no damn kid if they die. That's fucked up.
Why? Sometimes hope can be the strength that they need. Like, although they might have a terminal illness, sometimes their strength and their hope can keep them a little bit longer.
I would walk away.
If somebody told you that it was over and then you just gave up, and there's a possibility that you could have survived just because with the idea of being able to try.
I'm walking away.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's just like when you say it, it's not so definitive when you use it like that when it comes to lies. Because I get it, what you're saying. Like, because in certain situations, once you lie to someone, whether it's, especially when it's like a relationship or a friendship, it takes away from the friendship. Because even if I move forward from it, I'm not able to be able to trust you the same. That's a work in progress. Not saying that it's a never thing, but it does put me in a position where now I might have to question the ways that I respond to you or how I go about things because of how you lied to me. But I don't think that that's a umbrella on you lied and now it's over. I
don't think so either. I'm just saying, like, lying is lying. Like,
so that's what I'm saying. But we have just had a conversation about how it could be seen a different way.
I don't agree with that.
So that's yes you did. You just said about the surprise
party. Even I don't care. Like, the act of lying is wrong. Can you excuse the lie or not even or cushion the lie with like? But it's good behind it. Sure, you can, but at the end of the day, it's still a lie.
Okay.
So. But yeah, just learn about myself and just yeah. It was a week. It was a week of self-discovery. Should say.
I'm telling you, and I think that very interestingly enough, I don't know who said that to me. So whoever's listening, if you did, please just shout out to you. But they said that like this year, maybe it's the wax lady, that this year is like the year of like self-discovery, where you learn more about yourself and the people that are around you, and you start to decide if those people are conducive to where your trajectory is going. That's what they're saying that this season is for us.
Dope.
I think it's the wax lady. Shout out to you.
Shout out, wax lady. Mm-hmm. Wax on, wax off.
Yes.
Ready to start?
Yeah, sure. You want to go first?
Sure. So, shout out to you, Gills, because this topic literally comes from a conversation that me and Gills is having on Twitter about accolades and awards and when they matter and when they don't matter, right? So, I'm gonna put it like this: do awards, accolades, and titles matter?
What aspect?
Okay, that's good. So, we was talking about what me and Gil was talking about. We was talking about the music industry, right? Talking about Grammys. I'm not saying music. We was talking about just the arts industry because you got Grammys, Oscars, all that stuff. And he was saying that those awards don't matter because it's just a bunch of people voting on something to give themselves a pat on the back. And I'm like, so if those awards don't matter, then how do you judge someone against the field? Like, what is how do you possibly say someone who has 10 Grammys isn't better than the person who only has one?
Could you look at the people that are voting? Because if it's a popularity vote and if it's really the consensus of the community, is the vote the same?
I would think it would hold even more weight.
No, not if you don't believe in the people that are voting or the structure that created the field of voting. If you go into it understanding that, like, if I feel some type of way about this thing, but the consensus of the people that vote on it have a completely different idea, who's to say my views are wrong? Because they decided that they chose.
But who's to say their views are wrong?
The consensus.
No, because if they are okay, I think it's a good example would be like the elections, right? Democracy, in the sense of if you got more electoral votes, which is less than the is it the popular vote?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have more electoral votes than popular votes, you win.
Mm-hmm.
Because the electoral votes is the one that matters, but the popular votes don't matter. So if that doesn't make sense to me at all. But okay.
And so that's the same thing that I see in the other fields, is that like the popularity vote won't always weigh against the people that be, because they may not always represent the people that are actually listening to this music. So I can be in a room and I never heard this song before, but 5 of my colleagues are with it, so I'm with it too. Not because I actually understand what the music is or the value, but because of my colleagues and where I'm at. But because I don't want to lose my job at this point and I want to maintain this salary I'm getting, I'm going with the consensus.
I can't believe that's how that works.
But we've seen it. That's what I'm trying to say, is that if we are two people that listen to several different genres of bodies of work on a regular basis, we don't just stick to 2 or 3 genres. Like, we have a broad spectrum of what we listen to.
For sure.
And not saying that we are the end all be all of thoughts, but there are albums or individuals that we've known that are very highly talented, but then when they're faced up against these individuals that have all this backing and support, it's hard for them to even be acknowledged. So that I'm grateful for the platforms that we have where independent artists are able to put their music out there, but sometimes unless you go viral, you won't even get to the point of getting a Grammy.
So I hear that, but the main thing about that is like you said, we both listen to a wide range of music, right? So if you and right now, let's stick to the Grammys. The right now biggest topic in Grammy talk is like the whole thing that Beyonce never won Album of the Year against like the Taylor Swifts, the Adeles, whatever, right? I get it. Beyonce's super talented, right? Very, 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 very talented. But to say that, like, I think Taylor Swift is a great example of this. Taylor Swift, if you just look at the counting numbers, Billboard, all that stuff, she outdoes Beyonce in every category. So why wouldn't she win the Album of the Year? Why is there such an uproar? Because we think Beyonce should have won it? Like, why is our vote, or why do what we say matter more than the people who are choosing the winners?
Well, to answer that question specifically is because we don't have representation like everyone else in a lot of categories when it comes to being able to have the power to have that vote. There's not a lot of us that are there in those rooms.
That's a whole other conversation for...
So, but that's what I'm saying. But that all plays into who's voting for what. Mm-hmm. And I'm not taking away from Taylor Swift or whatever she has done, because she also write her own music at the same time. Mm-hmm. But it's just the idea that we don't. It's very easy to understand why. And this is gonna put me in this space, but because I love all my peoples, but why white women will always win over a black woman, because there's not a lot of representation to be able to push that push that artist. And even when you think about it being on a corporate or the industry in itself, like these record labels have the power to nominate these artists, and they're not. So it all stems from that at the same time.
Well, I think part of that is because black people have been invited to that table and they have just declined. because of whatever reason.
Okay.
But when you are invited and you decide not to do nothing about it, and then this continues to happen,
Okay.
you can't devalue the award.
Let's play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. Okay, you get invited to a table, but there's still stipulations and rules and regulations to it. So it doesn't mean that you have power. It just means that you're invited. It's like being on the guest list, but you're still not in VIP. You just happen to get into the building. It doesn't mean that you have the actual power, because there's still people that are influential already surrounding you, already manipulating the system in itself.
So who's more influential, the person at the table or the person who's not at the table at all?
I think whoever got the most money. We seen people that been getting awards and we just be like, how you get that?
No, I'm saying like it's been well documented that Jay-Z, Diddy, Dr. Dre have all been invited to that table to be a voter on awards, right? I think Dr. Dre has recently accepted. And Jay-Z did the Shice Bob shit last year, where he was like, if you don't give Rock Nation the awards, we not performing. It's the same shit. It's all about influence. My thing is though, if you're offered the seat at the table, you're right. There's still a game to be played even when you're sitting at the table. But you can never get a chance to play the game if you don't even accept the invite.
Yeah, but if the invite already has stipulations, what's the point? Like, and that's what I'm saying is that I understand what you're saying in regards to that. Like, you can't complain if you've been invited to make changes and you don't. Mm-hmm. But if you've already been invited and there's already rules where there's no change, it's just that you are now just the face of it, what does it actually change? Why would I add more strings and manipulation to whatever I'm doing to say that I'm doing something when I have no power in it?
Because now that person who's at the table could say, I didn't vote this way. I had no influence, but I was there at the table to say that, to give my vote.
Great. And we understood that now. We've seen in this industry, allegedly, that the people that
better about that
people that tend to be that hammer that you need to nail down, but bad things happen to them. You now put yourself in a position where you have all these other influential people that have been in the game way longer than you, because they've already had this seat, it's warm, is crafted to their ass, and now you are challenging them. You are now putting yourself where you may now have a target on your back.
Fair.
Now, do I take away from the idea of like awards? Because I feel like on a local level or even on a personal level, even private level, I think that yes, I think they are beneficial and I believe in them. But when we do think about, before we didn't have all this information before. So we accepted whatever award show, we're like, yes, we agree with whatever they decided, because we didn't understand what played into it. But now we have more information. Mm-hmm. Now we've understood that some people really get their influence based off the people that they know. And even though that we see that on a low level basis, we're starting to see that that's what's happening on a high level basis too. It's not really what you're doing anymore. It's really what you know. What's not taken away from Taylor Swift award, but what's the last song you know that you like from Taylor Swift that you can say that you know?
Shake It Off.
That's a couple of albums away, Greg.
I didn't listen to this last album.
That's what I'm saying. It's and I'm not taking away from their songs that I like from her too. But if I can tell you a song that I know from her recent album,
for sure,
I know nothing. Even if I said that I just played the radio, nothing. She's not even on any radio station. But that's what I'm saying is just that, like, if we're just looking at the idea of the people that may have listened to the radio or even the popularity of streaming, you're not even on the list for us. So if you're thinking about it on a popularity level, and not just your consistency level of who you are and what you represent, you would say that, like, I can tell you a Beyonce song.
Of course you can.
That I've heard. But that doesn't mean just because I'm a black person. That's just because that's what's actually been playing on the radio. That's what I can hear on a consistent basis.
I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift has been playing on the radio consistently.
The job that I work at plays, I don't know what it is, maybe it's satellite radio, whatever. It doesn't have commercials, whatever, but it plays music all the time. And it's low, but it's high enough. I haven't heard a Taylor Swift song since I've been working there, and I've been working there for 5 months. And I've heard Beyonce songs, I've heard NSYNC songs, Backstreet Boys. I've heard so many songs. I haven't heard a Taylor Swift song at all. And by all means, it's a primarily like pop station. Haven't heard any of her songs. I've seen her more on football than I've heard her music.
No argument.
So it's just like it's like a no-brainer when you think about the quality, and because you understand that she writes her music, that's great. But when you think about the popularity and the idea of who's really tapping into this music, like why are not radio stations just blatantly just playing her song, any song? But well, that's not true, because I also understand her past and buying her music back and trying to recreate it. I get that.
I just think like if you look at Billboard though, it's like. That's another thing. Like, so where would Billboard factor into all this? Because that is the radio spin.
Okay, so let's throw it all goes back to who controls it. The thing is that, like,
you think somebody's saying we're not gonna put Taylor Swift on the radio, but we're still gonna make her number one?
You listen to the radio, Greg?
No.
Okay, well, I guess that conversation is moot. I'm gonna say. Again, I think it's who controls what we see. I think that people lie, numbers don't. Now, but the thing is that we don't see what until they publish it. You can make it whatever you want. Like our proof is because of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But where do we get that validation from? Where do we see where these actual?
It's like Reese Tisa.
I'm screaming. You stupid. Again, it sounds good, but by all means, it's just you stuck on that. Damn, Greg.
Advance the conversation, right? Let's leave music.
Okay.
Good conversation though.
Mm-hmm.
Titles.
Mm-hmm.
When are titles important? If you want to.
When I have a husband.
I think titles are important regardless.
I think it depends on the individual. I think that's subjective. But I believe that if you are married, I think that title is super important.
So in relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think. Actually, I agree with that because I don't care for the boyfriend girlfriend moniker.
I mean, it sounds good, and by all means, like. But there's no. I guess there could be repercussions and consequences depending on the relationship. But I think that once you
it don't matter being introducing them.
I think it depends on the person, because some people can introduce you to anybody and it don't mean nothing to them, but it can mean everything to you.
That's me. Like, if I'm introducing you to people, they know what it is. I don't gotta put no title on nothing.
I think you should do that with me, because some people don't know who I am.
I wouldn't introduce you to nobody.
But we have gone to places where you did.
I introduced you?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
That I'm Gigi, and how you know me.
Oh, that's different.
No, it's not. It's the idea of, because we go to places together, and as two single individuals, like we. Are you mocking me?
A little bit, sorry.
Why?
That was funny. I apologize.
There were two individuals that happen to be hanging out with each other a lot.
For sure.
And some people may be curious. And so I think, not saying that it's something that's a no-brainer for us, because we understand our dynamic, but I think it's when you do introduce me to people that may not be familiar with me, they are curious on how we know each other or what our dynamic is.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just thinking, like, have I ever, like, intentionally...
I wouldn't know, Greg, so don't tell me if you did.
Because that's what I'm getting at. Like, if I intentionally introduce you to somebody, then they know, like, they would know what that means. Like, it's not necessarily I need to put a whole title on you.
I mean, I would get that, but I'm gonna say, even like the times when we used to be outside, like the time we was in Hoboken. She didn't understand the dynamics of us yet. She didn't know who I was to you. I was the only girl there too.
True.
So I just think that there are certain circumstances where I guess the people that know you may already understand who I am because we have been around the certain
Actually, that's a really good example to use because she had to say something to me for me to say who you were.
Yeah.
If you were my woman, I would say something first.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
That's what I mean.
I get that, and that usually what happens is that I'm Gigi, and then there's a follow up.
Yeah.
If you don't say nothing initially.
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah, I get it.
So yes, so what about professional titles?
Depends if the money makes sense.
So you don't want to be a director making $30,000?
No.
I feel you on that.
No.
Not even just to have the name director?
I'm a glorified secretary, though. No, unless it's like a startup business, which I understand the road that I'm on, and eventually it will be something, but not where I've been working for this company and I didn't get a pay raise and they just changed my title. No, absolutely not. You can keep the title at this point. It doesn't change my money. It doesn't change anything. It just gives me more responsibility.
Understood. What if it's a title you work for, right?
Give me an example.
There's broke doctors. Shit. If I work to get that damn doctorate, you calling me a doctor. I don't give a fuck how much I make.
Yeah, but that happens anyway. So what are you asking?
That's what I'm saying. So like there are broke what you were talking about is the money.
Mm-hmm.
If the money says I'm a director, then cool, call me a director. But if the money don't say I'm a director, yeah, keep that shit.
Yeah, unless I accept it initially. So like I'm thinking about those doctors that may have decided that like this is what they wanted to do. And not even the profession, in the career that they chose may not be money, but they enjoy what they do. Like the people that do, what's the thing overseas?
The doctors that go.
Doctors on Borders or something like that. Like they don't make money, but they are there to help people.
True.
So I think that for the people for those individuals that may quote unquote be broke doctors, I think they've understood what they wanted to do. Now, if life has given them lemons and life is hard, that's another story. But I think that they've understood that they were more than what the money is. And I don't think everybody cares about the money, right? Because you're not getting promoted to anything. And what I'm saying with titles is if I came in as an admin and now you're telling me that I can be a director, but you're still giving me admin money, but with the responsibilities of a director, what is that difference for me? Because obviously I've already been giving you those skill sets and things and attributes of me that you already see that I've been doing, for sure. But you don't think that you don't want to value me the same way, especially when you look at the market. Like the thing is that we have so much more information about the industries that we're in and the money that people are making. So it's like you're trying to undervalue me, but tell me that I'm valued at the same time. True. That's like being somebody's girlfriend and you never see them and you never talk to them. And it's just like, well, am I in a relationship? Because I don't even know who the person that I'm with. I think that's the same thing. You've given me a title, but you don't give me no benefits with it.
There's benefits now.
As the director or
let's just say now you can fire people. You can do that as an administrator.
Okay.
I mean, as an assistant.
I can fire people.
You can fire, you can hire, you can change budgets around.
And I know that people will always make more money than me because now I'm on salary and I can't make no more money.
Yeah.
No. The idea that people, unless you don't need it and you just like the idea of control, sure, take it.
For sure. No, I
think that anybody that is trying to elevate in life it's the title is usually associated with some type of compensation. And I think that's the idea of it. If that was the case, there wouldn't be titles. There wouldn't be low-level roles, mid-level roles, and high-level roles.
So the title is dependent on compensation.
That would be the point of anybody working in any type of job. For me, if you were provided with a job that was top tier and you understood that market in itself, and that industry in itself, and that role in itself is already a 6-figure job and they're only giving you 4, unless it's a startup, like I said, because I get that, because startups always don't have money, but if you believe in the cause and you understood that you're taking that money, just like Doctors Without Borders, like they've understood that they are going to not take the $10,000 or $20,000 and they'll take the 3 or the 2 because they want the betterment of people. I get that. But when it comes to the idea that I'm here every day spending the bulk of my day and time here, I want my money, Greg.
That's fair.
I want my money. What about you?
I did lean one way, but the way you broke it down, I do agree. Only time, like, especially, I think for me is if I've earned the title, you're gonna respect me enough to call me by that title. So, like if I'm a coach and I don't care how much in that situation, I don't care how much I'm making. I've been promoted to be a coach. Like I'm a coach now. You're gonna call me coach. So I think in that situations like that, coach, doctor, stuff like that, when you've earned it, I don't think compensation really matters. But I guess in a more corporate structure, or not even corporate structure, but like in a job setting where, like you said, like a director, executive director, CEO, absolutely. I think all of those titles are definitely compensation dependent.
I agree. Yeah. Is there another level? Are we talking about relationships or anything like that?
Nah. I'm good.
No? But how you feel about relationships? Do you think titles matter?
Relationships? Yeah, I don't. That's a trigger. I'm all for titles, especially once there's a ring involved. 1,000%.
So so it goes back to what we said, like when it comes to actually being like committed, like married.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, you ready to jump into my topic, right?
Yeah. You want to set it up or just play it?
Okay.
Shut up.
Wow, Greg. Oh, okay. So my cousin actually sent me this topic the other day, and we actually talked about it a little bit, and I just wanted to see what your thoughts are too. Can you say like where is it from? Because I'm not gonna be like you.
Yeah, it's from TikTok. The follower name is Natali.
Yes, and I'm just ready to see Greg's thoughts, and you might even be surprised on my thoughts. So, Greg, you can play it.
Thinking to myself, like, this is the realization I came to. The nighttime is only scary because men exist. You sit there and you think about that real quick, like I just did. The nighttime, this is blowing mine, this little light right here. The nighttime is only scary, okay? Because men exist. Women are only afraid, paranoid, worrisome, anxiety-filled at night because the men are out there. Say I'm lying. Take away the men. What's scary about nighttime? Tell me quickly.
Women.
The silence is loud. It is.
Animals.
It is. That's crazy. I don't think y'all. What's scary about nighttime without the men? What's scary? Tell me. What's gonna happen? We gonna drop it like it's hot all night. The men not there.
She scares me. If I saw her at night,
That's
I
what
would
I'm
be
saying
scared.
to y'all. That's crazy. But this my.
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
React.
she's wrong.
Why do you think she's wrong?
To blame scariness of night on a gender of people is just stupid.
You don't think she has any?
She said she's gone through something, or she knows a couple people who've gone through things, and I respect that. But no.
Why do you think no? You haven't been specific on anything. You've been really general.
Men are not the reason why you should be afraid of the night.
Why not?
Because there's so many other things to be afraid of.
Like what?
Animals.
In the city?
Yeah.
Like what?
Rats.
Okay.
Dogs. Cats. Possums. Raccoons. Fucking deer.
Everybody's not afraid of animals like that.
Everybody's not afraid of men either.
That is true, but I'm just saying, like, what? You think the animals are gonna attack you?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Women are scary. You saw her? She's scary as fuck.
I don't think she's scary.
She looked like she gonna fuck you up.
That does. Okay, that's what you have.
Keep it 100. Keep it 1.
That's
yeah.
Okay. So mine is yes and no. So I'll go off with what you said first, which I don't think that it's just a man thing, because women have been known to be as dangerous as men at times. But when I did do some research, men are more reluctant to be more violent or cause crimes than women in regards when it comes to attack on women. It's usually from men. So that's something that I've read on the yes and no. So I can see the realization in that. However, I don't think that we should just put it on men, because I think that there's all types of crazy people, whether it's women, men, or theys, that could do something horrendous at any time of day or night. But when it does come to being a woman and understanding where being assaulted or being robbed or things like that, it's usually by a man. And I also believe that society has put women in a space where we come off already vulnerable to men, that in times where there's not a lot of people on the street, or it's a street that has no one on it, that those are the times where women may be abducted or get hurt. I can believe that. Does that always happen? No, but it could. And usually it's a man that's doing it than a woman. Do women do it? Yes. But so that's why I could say yes and no, is that I can't just put it on men as a whole to say that women can't be outside at night.
So keep it on your no.
Okay.
Right? Or no? Is it your yes? I guess keep it on your yes.
I have yes and no.
Keep it on the side that agrees with what she says.
Okay.
Take away all the men.
Mm-hmm.
Night is now safer. Now you can just roam the streets 2 o'clock in the morning because there's no more men.
You may feel more reluctant to do it because at this point, like, we've also understood, not saying all men, but men usually can overpower a woman. And not saying women can't overpower women, but you might have a fairer fight. If that was the case, then we would have more sports and things like that are intergender, but we've understood that there's a different ability that men have than women have, even though they could be compared to, but we've seen that a man can usually overpower a woman. Mm-hmm. So knowing that allows us to already be vulnerable at that point. And in the instance of me understanding that I might have to go fight a woman, which I don't condone violence, I'm more reluctant to do it than me trying to go fight a man. If a man is coming at me than a woman's coming at me, I'm more reluctant to go fight her back than the man. Even if I try to fight the man back,
There's some women that be thinking they niggas.
And that's what I'm saying is that, like, and
you find out they're not a nigga.
And I understand that completely. And so, but understanding that is that's where you can put in that perspective of where she's right, where if it was a situation where a man is going to attack a woman, he's more reluctant to do that because of the idea that even if she did fight back, he would be able to overpower her. Now with the woman, like, it could be, it's a 50-50, 30-70 type of situation. There's a chance.
It's just this. I hear you. I do. I can't. I could never agree with that.
Of course, because you're a man and you know that you wouldn't do that. But if you understood that dynamic,
that's like saying,
if you remove yourself from the situation and you understood it just as a man that has a daughter.
But can a statement like this be similar? Yo, there'll be no accidents if there was no women.
Do you believe that?
No.
Okay, because we've understood that more men get into accidents than women.
That's not true.
You want me to Google it?
Please do.
Okay.
I can't believe that. If that's the case, that's crazy. We should get like Jeopardy music.
This is from malmellaw.com, but I'm also on Google. But it says, who causes more accidents? The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that men cause an average of 6.1 million accidents per year in the U.S., and women cause 4.4 million accidents per year.
Bullshit. But there's
Okay.
more, because there's more men in the United States, duh.
Okay, let's see. It still says males.
It's probably true. I ain't gonna argue it. I don't care.
Oh, so now that you're wrong, you don't care.
No, I mean, like, it is what it is. Okay, so fine. I was just trying to make an example of that bullshit. Nighttime is safer.
Yeah, but then you just use an example that you were wrong.
It was wrong. I was wrong.
You were wrong,
That's
yes, you were
fine.
wrong. So understanding that, what is your?
It's still the same shit.
Okay.
Like the roads ain't safer because if you take off all the men, because there's still gonna be 4.6 million accidents.
You see how you tried to be right even though you was wrong?
Stop it.
Oh, okay.
No, nigga, I was wrong.
Okay. You ready, Greg?
Yeah. All right. Thank you for making it through this conversation with us. We end every show with the part of the show called New Dialogue. New Dialogue, where we talk about something that we found interesting in the past week or two. You got anything?
Yeah, shout outs to my ring alarm. This past weekend, my dog ran away and I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. She didn't have her collar on. She is not microchip. I'm giving y'all a lot of information, but neither here nor there. But I reached out to a lot of individuals. We walked around, we canvassed for her, but the Ring Alarm has a neighborhood app that I also posted my dog on, where the patrons on there were so helpful and allowed me to find my dog. I wouldn't even think in a million years that society in itself would be able to, or social media in itself would be able to reunite me and my dog together. And I'm so grateful for that, because you don't understand that one voice, as long as it's on the right platform, can solve a lot of things. And I'm so grateful for that and being able to reunite with my dog. So shout out to the Ring Alarm app, because without y'all, I'm probably still be looking for my dog.
Shout out to the Ring.
Neighborhood app too. It's a part of the Ring Alarm. Y'all see it if y'all know it. But yeah. What about you, Greg?
My new dialogue is Metro and Future put out an album today, and the album was okay. It wasn't nothing to sneeze at. Like, it was nothing great. But Kendrick Lamar is on it. Kendrick Lamar came for Drake and J. Cole, and we getting the best hip hop beat ever.
It's bringing it back. It's bringing the essence back to hip hop. I like it.
It's so great. We all really know it's gonna be Kendrick versus J. Cole, but Drake is there, so. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, because Kendrick bodied that shit. He understood the assignment.
He always does. I don't think he's as disappointed since.
So that's my new dialogue. I'm happy for hip hop.
I love that. I love that. It's bringing it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, for making it this far in this episode. Greg and I appreciate you appreciating us having this dialogue this evening. Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Yeah, you can find me on X and Twitter. X and Instagram at Greg Nelson26. Follow the pod on X, Instagram, and TikTok at JustAConvo_pod. And listen to us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Acast, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. And real quick, shout out to Ava. It was her birthday. She turned 6.
Happy birthday! my amazing individuals, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at GCarly7, and that's GQARLY and the number 7. And if you forgot today, if someone didn't tell you today, if you wasn't reminded today, if you missed someone today, let them know that you missed them. You don't gotta say too much. Just say I miss you and have a good day. And Greg and I want you to go be great. Gigi.